Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. You're listening to Night Terrors Radio. We got a great show lined up for you. As ever, my vigilant co-host, Mark Gray. You can say something, Mark.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Let's do Rob Pistelli next. I think he's a little more with it. Rob?
Maybe a little more with it. I would like to say that at this particular point in time, I am with it.
You are with it?
With it. I want the punctuation in there.
Pregnant?
No, with it. I want the punctuation. No, with it.
He's with it. Pennywise. He's down in the sewer with some red balloons.
We did have a tale earlier that we were talking about where a man from upstate New York claims to have had not only intercourse, but he finished the deal with a lady Sasquatch. Am I correct?
Not upstate New York.
Yeah.
Do not lump the upstate New Yorkers in with that asshole. That's a downstater.
Hey, that is not very nice, Rob. That is not very nice. He seemed like a fine, upstanding gentleman who just got caught in a bad situation.
In a dry creek bed with a female Sasquatch.
Yes.
It wasn't a dry creek bed for very long, though, was it, Rob?
Oh.
Down there, you never know.
We have a great show lined up. We have Hart Fisher. Hart Fisher is the man behind American Horrors and Boneyard Press. Hart's been in the industry for a very, very long time. Friend of the show, good to have you back. Hart, how are you doing tonight?
I'm completely stuffed with Aurelio's Pizza from Homewood, Illinois, and I'm driving through the wasteland of the south side of Chicago that I grew up in. And so I'm driving through all my normal territory, and I'm going, Jesus Christ, did Pritzker fuck up Illinois or what? And this mayor, Lori Lightfoot, somebody got to put her on the guillotine. Jesus Christ, this place looks like a hellhole.
It's like a demilitarized zone. I mean,
no, it's worse, bro. No. I'm talking about burnt buildings. I'm talking about boarded over buildings, abandoned buildings. And I'm from the South Side. I grew up on the South Side since the 70s. Okay, the 70s. I lived in L.A. During the crack epidemic, and I lived in a really rough side of Los Angeles that was severely gang entrenched. So when I say this is not some lily white Girl Scout den mother going, "Oh my Lord, is that a board on the window?" I'm telling you, as a lifelong resident, I'm seeing, oh my God, has it gone down? Like, and it was bad already. I mean, we're talking about neighborhoods like Robbins, where the police department all got busted for being corrupt.
Right, yeah.
The whole police department. So, oh my God, I'm good, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, what the hell happened? Do I really want to take this route to Aurelio's Pizza next time?
Honestly, you could not pay me to be in Chicago right now.
I had a GPS that used to always want to take me right through the heart of Newark.
Okay.
All the time. And it was like, I would always reroute it. And for some reason, like, it always thought that I was looking for, like, a gun with the numbers filed off. It was always like, we're going to take you right there, buddy. We're going to take you to the house. We're going to get you what you need. And I'm like, I just want to go to the fucking airport, and it's outside of Newark, for God's sake. But for whatever reason,
in Oakland, I went to Oakland WonderCon, right? I drove up to WonderCon in Oakland. This is back in the 90s, and I made a wrong turn in Oakland. And I shit you not, I'm driving a 83 Chevy Impala that looks like it came out of Mad Max. And I'm the lily white, blonde, blue-eyed driver. And, well, I'll admit it, I was carrying a 38 Special because I carried a lot of cash at these shows. Mm-hmm. And I made that wrong turn.
I
flip a Yui, I flip a bitch. And I shit you not, 30 dudes started chasing my car.
Oh, yeah.
30. They were all hanging out. It was wintertime. They had their parkas on. They all came chasing. All they did was pull a Yui. They started running after my car.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And I didn't come in there with a Cadillac.
There's a reason. There's a reason their football team is called the Raiders.
Not anymore.
Truth.
Now, I remember being a very young, very naive 16-year-old that I had just received my license. And one of the first things I wanted to do is I wanted to spend like a weekend up in Chicago. And remember, this is when you could go up there, and because credit cards, this dates me horribly, of course, but we're talking decades ago when you didn't need a credit card to do everything. You could actually get a decent hotel with just cash.
Yep. That's
so
right.
Being under 18 years old, it was really no problem to, if you looked a little bit older, had some facial hair, you plunked down the money for a night. You're got a
tall,
hotel.
You're ugly. It worked.
Right, yeah. You got a hotel. So I remember trying to go up there to Chicago. My friend had one of those, and it's a cigar box of a car, if anybody remembers the model, a Reliant K. Right? No soft images on this. No soft edges on this thing at all. There's no single aerodynamic part to a Reliant K. And you practically have to pull a cord out of the ass of this thing to get it to go anyways. So,
I hear you.
Right, but does this predate the Love Wagon?
Yes, this predates the Love Wagon. Well, this was not mine. This is my buddy's Reliant K. Right? But
the Reliant
Buick Skylark that wouldn't even fucking make it to Chicago. So
I had a Buick Skylark.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the one where it would you never knew if you were going over 80 miles an hour because the speedometer was digital and it would flash when you hit 80. So either I was taking a trip into the fucking past or the future via Doc Brown, or I didn't know how fucking fast I was going when I was driving this piece of shit. So we're in this Reliant K, and there were times where the butterfly valve would stick. So you'd have to get out of the car, and one of you'd have to put a stick or your fucking finger in the butterfly valve to get the car to turn over. So we're going through South Chicago, don't really know where we're at, and the car fucking breaks down. And I've always sort of been, an avid lover of horror films, and I pride myself on being able to look at landmarks and go, hey, that looks like this from this specific film. So we break down, and I'm like, that really looks like that tenement from Candyman.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
God, was that Cabrini Green?
Cabrini Green, and then I saw the sign. Now I'm out there, just a little.
And you're pretty white, by the way.
Oh. Fucking luminescent.
And you probably stood out in Cabrini Green. Okay, ladies and gentlemen at home, my mother worked for the Department of Public Aid since 1969, all right? So that means my mom worked at the Department of Public Aid. She was a caseworker when I was a child, and she would go to the Randolph Taylor homes. And she would go to Cabrini Green, and she went as the welfare lady. So there were times where I had to go in the Dragon Wagon, which was the family station wagon, and I had to pick her up. I had to go pick her up from places, and she'd go, "If you leave me for 10 minutes, I'm dead.
Right.
You must be there on time, or I will die.
Right.
Or you'll show up when I'm being raped and being murdered."
Right. And there's no sliding scale.
Well, a bad neighborhood's a bad neighborhood. Whatever color it is, that doesn't matter.
Right.
When you're in that bad neighborhood, it isn't about the color. It's the fact that you stand out. Now, people go, "Oh, you racist prick." And I say, fuck you. You've never been there. And if you go to some hayseed, hick town, Rednecksville, USA, and you walk in there looking like I do right now with pink fingernails and pink toenails, they're going to look at you fucking funny.
Yeah, it's when you don't. You're a different barometer. They've got a barometer for what happens 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And when somebody else shows up with that barometer, that's a little bit different. Then you truly do get to see, what happens when the sidewalks roll up in a town that has just a shit ton of fucked up old world ideals.
There's plenty. I can remember being in Florence, Italy, and being on a raging drunk and bar hopping and coming out of some bar at like 4 a.m. in Florence and going, "Where the fuck am I? How am I going to find my apartment?" do they have bad neighborhoods in Florence? And I'm wearing leather pants and a fur pimp coat down to my calves. And obviously I'm a Viking. I've got blonde hair down to my ass. And I was already getting the Maloik from people, which is the evil eye from the old Italian ladies. We're all giving me the Maloik. I don't know what that was about. But I come out of this bar and I'm just like, Jesus, I hope there are no bad neighborhoods in Florence as I have to walk home. And I had to find my way home from the various, Florence is a tourist town. So they had little signs set up in front of different, like, this is the Medici, Leonardo DiCaprio or Leonardo da Vinci was here and he's buried in this church. And so they had lots of stuff like that. And I found my way home by going from monument to monument and reading the maps.
Oh, wow.
And I walked down the middle of the street like John fucking Wayne. And everybody was getting out of my way. They were getting out of my way. They're like, who is this maniac?
That is the secret. The secret is to act like you belong there. I will
just own it.
I will take New York City. I will take Newark. I'll even take the south side of Chicago before you dump me in some of the hick towns that I've been in.
Oh, yeah.
In the city, just walk like you belong there, and you're fine. Those hick towns, they know whether you belong there or not. You can walk any way you want. They already know you don't belong. And it's a little scarier. And
that's because their cousin, mother, sister is like the mother of everyone in town and girlfriend.
But when you're standing in the gene pool and it's barely above your toenails, there's issues.
I kind of have had a little bit of that. I recently moved from Los Angeles to Wisconsin, and I relocated for oops, I hit another curb. Damn it. That's what happens when you do an interview on the phone, son of a bitch. These fucking high curves on the south side of gut. So I moved to the Lake Geneva in Wisconsin, and even though that's a tourist town, I learned right away you really want to be seen as a local, because if you have any conflict with anyone that's a quote a local and you are not, guess who's going to the pokey? You are. And it doesn't matter what the other guy did. It doesn't matter if he pissed in your fucking Cheerios, poked your wife in the eye, and slapped your baby in the face. You're going to the fucking pokey. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've got this thing. Now, in Illinois, anything basically South Chicagoland area is, people seem to think that Illinois is Chicago.
No, it's not.
And
those guys on the south side of Illinois think that they're fucking the rebels.
Oh, yeah.
Those idiots think that they fought for the South, and it's like, hey, moron, you fought for the North, so take that rebel flag out of your fucking truck.
Yeah, there are parts of this state where the war is not over.
For sure, yeah. No, I went to college down in Champaign, Illinois. So my mother is from Taylorville, Illinois, which is a very small town.
Oh, yeah.
And my aunt was from Pana, Illinois.
My dad is from Pana.
Yeah. I spent time in Decatur. I spent time in Springfield because I got family all around there. Holy cow.
We are close enough that we still patronize the theater, the movie theater, the family-owned movie theater in Taylorville.
Oh,
Illinois.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you live by Taylorville?
I used to live about 20 minutes away.
That's awesome.
Now we're even more remote.
Yeah.
I haven't been there since my grandfather passed. The last time I was in Pana, my Aunt Ruth had passed. Mm-hmm. And when I talked about that 83 Chevy Impala, that was Aunt Ruth's car.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I understand that, being from New York or being in New York, not from New York, but in New York.
Right.
Everybody thinks New York is New York City. I'm 350. I'm 350 miles from New York City.
And even on a weirder scale, everybody thinks Manhattan is New York City, and that's it.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, Manhattan's Manhattan. New York City is there's an actual section of New York City that is New York City. Then there's Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, Queens.
Yeah.
But New York City itself is only about 10 square blocks.
Yeah. And the Queen
Mhm.
in Queens and the Bronx is like that's where everybody thinks that they just film Law and Order.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Queens is basically on Long Island for the most part.
Yeah.
And the Bronx encompasses City Island and a bunch of other little islands. It's very strange, you know, like growing up in
Well,
that.
that's why I
You know, I did
mentioned
grow up in
that,
Northwest Jersey.
I used to work with a comic book publisher from Cry for Dawn. If you guys know the character Dawn, Joseph Michael Linsner.
Yeah.
I worked
yeah.
with his partner quite a bit, Mr. Monks. And we did a lot of stuff together in comics, and he lived in Valley Stream. And it was hilarious because I would go out there and I'd do store signings and I'd go stay with him and his family. And then everywhere I went, I was like, is this town like 10 years behind on the fashion? They all sounded like Fran Drescher from The Nanny. All of them. And I'm just like, did somebody give you guys a script? Are you all on the same page? What is and they all had the bad 80s metal fashions with the acid wash jeans. And we're talking the 90s, not the 80s. And they still had that hair.
I still wear those fashions.
Hair, you know, with the bangs. They used to have the bangs that would curl down like a parrot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've still got some ex-wife PTSD from the Fran Drescher voice.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I always wanted to fuck her and make her come just to see what she would sound like when she's coming.
It's the parrot. Basically, at some point in time, you wouldn't know if you're fucking Fran Drescher or Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh, no. Gilbert Godfrey would be yelling at you. What are you drunk?
My God.
You gotta get it to me harder. What is this? What kind of putz are you?
So I needed to at least get into a conversation about awkward sex with Fran Drescher before we get into what Hart is actually here for tonight.
Sure.
We always have a great time with Hart. So, well, let's talk about American Horrors and American Horrors Film Festival because we are in film festival season right now. I mean, all these festivals, the deadlines are all approaching. We've got tons coming up in October, November, and beyond. So let's take a look at what we're doing this year. What's happening with American Horrors, the channel, and the film festival this year, Hart?
All right, we'll hit the film festival first. Let's sit down here for a second. And I'm no longer driving the car. Oh, I've got my Jack and Coke. I'm ready.
So now if you hit a curb, it's really going to be suspect.
Yeah, we'll do. Big time. Big time. All right, so who am I? Well, hi, I'm Hart D. Fisher from American Horrors. You may know me from my work with Glenn Danzig, perhaps from my work with Gerard Way, or perhaps from my work with the young Billie Eilish. But now I'm here to talk about the American Horrors Film Festival. The American Horrors Film Festival is an annual film festival run by festival director Hart D. Fisher. Every year, we have films from around the world come in. And we've got amazing films that come in every year. And right now, I would tell any filmmaker in the audience, enter your film now. We're in the last month of deadline, so you've got 1 month left to enter the American Horrors Film Festival. And I'm here to tell you guys that Ash here has a feature film that is going to be in the American Horrors Film Festival. He made the cut. He's going to be in. So Ash has a feature film. So you better get your monkey ass up to Lake Geneva, fuckface, and be there. And bring your friends. Jaga.
We will be there this year. We will. We are coming there.
We were one of the, in fact, last year, here's the thing, folks. Okay, you could either eat what the man serves you, or you could learn that the man not only tries to serve you a shit sandwich and you make your own meal. So we did that during COVID last year. Now I know I'm back in Wisconsin. I know I'm in the Midwest. I got the COVID. You got the COVID? I got the COVID. It's like Colvin.
Yeah, we get the long vowels here.
Yeah, so we do this film festival in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, which is kind of a really beautiful, beautiful town, and there's a lot of great people, and a lot of the businesses there have been very supportive of what I've been doing. So we've got a lot of great support from the community. We're in a killer theater, and what we did last year is we were open to the public. So we had our film festival last year. I think we might have been the only film festival open to the public during COVID on Halloween weekend, and we even put on a rock concert Friday night before the festival. So the festival this year is on Halloween weekend. It's on October 30th and 31st. I just booked the entertainment for the opening night party, and we're going to have some magic and some geek show stuff and some flame throwing and some needle piercing and all kinds of good stuff for horror people. And so I would tell people, man, this is a party. This is a good time. Creators come out, and one of the best things I heard about our festival was a short filmmaker was there, and he said, you know, Hart, I've entered my film into 100 festivals, and out of every festival I went to, only 5% were in an actual movie theater, and one not as beautiful as the one you're in. And not only that, Hart, you have the best movies. Out of all these festivals I've been to, you have the best films. And why is that? I don't have a fucking committee. I'm Hart fucking Fisher. I am Hart fucking Fisher. I've been doing horror for fucking 30 years. My work has been banned, burned, and blacklisted. I was banned from Wikipedia for 10 fucking years. I've had my book burned in this country, in Wisconsin, actually. The second largest distributor burned my copies of Jeffrey Dahmer's biography. So I've been through some serious shit. I work with Danzig. I work with heavy dudes. My work is sitting on the shelves of members of Slayer, Pantera, Necrophagia. You get what I'm saying, brothers? Metal people love my stuff. I am the horror guy. I am the fucking hammer. So I don't have a committee, guys. When I do the film festival, I watch everything. I watch every submission myself. I don't pass it off to a bunch of housewives and guys that work at 7-Eleven. I'm the real thing. I'm the master. And also, we have an Oscar winner for our one of our judges. So I feel that we have the most professional film fest because the judge for the short films is Daniel Caldwell. Dan is a theater executive. He has supervised about $7.5 million in renovations in various movie theaters throughout the Midwest. He's a serious executive. He's a guy who's worked in theater as an actor, and he's our judge for the short films. Now, I don't say shit. I pick the films in the festival. He picks the best short. For the features, our judge is Dieter Sturm. Dieter Sturm is a legend in the Midwest, and he won the Oscar for creating biodegradable snow. So we have real serious people in the industry looking at your work. If you're going to submit to American Horrors and maybe you want a career in horror, maybe you want your films to be released in Walmart or whatever, because a lot of our selections have all been getting great deals. Our best feature winner last year, Bad Candy, amazing horror anthology. It got a killer theatrical deal, dude. They got a theatrical deal. So that's why I say, go to AmericanHorrorsFilmFestival.com, www.AmericanHorrorsFilmFestival.com, and check it out. Get your movie in there. Tickets are going to go on sale in about 2 weeks.
Well, and the one thing that I want to say to people who might be on the fence about entering or submitting is the fact that, first of all, every time I see anything that comes out of your film festival, Hart, it always looks like people are having a good time. And I can't say that for a lot of other film festivals. Every time I see anything, I've even talked to my friends and I said, if we do one festival, we need to go to Hart's because it looks like everybody's having a good fucking time there. And, if I want to see, other people's films or even my film or whatever, it's like, I want to have a good time while I'm there. I really do. Like, I want to laugh and I want to meet some good people. And it just seems like every time I see any photos come out of your film festival, everyone seems to be having a blast.
Well, here's the second part, okay? I never understood this about Sundance. So you've got the Sundance Film Festival and you got the Sundance Channel. How come you don't show shit from the film festival on the fucking channel? What the fuck's wrong, you fucking jag-off fucking idiots? Jesus Christ. So, at American Horrors, which is, by the way, the fastest growing horror television channel in the world, American Horrors is free. It's a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, linear streaming horror TV channel. It is old school, meaning that, no, there's no guide. When you go to Coachella, does Daft Punk put up their playlist for everybody? No, they don't. Does Metallica put up their fucking playlist when you buy tickets to go to the Metallica concert? No, they don't put up their fucking playlist. American Horrors is the rock and roll of horror. We are the rock and roll of horror. We're the DJs. You're going to tune into the channel. You're going to fucking love it. If you don't, hey, stick around. Just like the weather in Illinois, it's going to change pretty soon.
Well, the Illinoisites or Illinoisans, I don't even know what we call ourselves anymore. Basically, just miserable. Like, there's definitely this. It's strange because, in my opinion, when we talk about horror, my horror has always been this idea of we're all sort of rebellious. We're all sort of looking for something that we can't find in other genres. And we love the genre because of what it is and the things it does right, the things that it doesn't want to do right, that it purposefully does wrong, and all the great shit that we come out of it. So to be able to sort of have what you're doing is also great because you are doing something different. Even within a genre that is sort of known for doing things different, you're still doing things differently, and you're still doing things the way you want to.
Riddle me this, Ash. Why don't you tell me? You've submitted films to other film festivals. What film festival shoots an entire TV special at the festival and then airs it on a worldwide TV network where everybody can watch it?
And nobody does it.
Yeah, nobody does it. We're the only one, and this is our 5th year. And what I would tell people is, come on out to the show. You're going to be entertained. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have my artists there, and we're shooting. We're interviewing people. We're interviewing artists. We're interviewing creators, and we're having a damn good time doing it. You know what it's like, Ash, when you show up somewhere and you could tell they didn't watch your movie.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell they're faking it. They didn't watch it, and they're just saying, "Oh yeah, they did a good job. Oh yeah." Because believe me, when we sit down and chat off the air, I have a bit of a critique for you about your feature.
Okay. No, certainly.
It's going to hurt a little bit, Ash. It's going to hurt a little bit, but it's good.
So, how are people going to get to the place where they can submit? I mean, you're also part of Film Freeway, right? Which is almost every film festival seems to be on there now. So people can go to Film Freeway.
FilmFreeway.com is where we take most of our entries. And I got to tell you right now, Ash, I think we're at 55 entries.
Okay.
And the work that we're getting it's damn amazing. It really is some amazing stuff. We've got a great documentary all about the metal and horror connection with Alice Cooper.
Oh, that's interesting.
Pinhead. All these amazing artists are in there. Doyle's in there, which is funny because I'm watching this thing as a submission, and the director, I believe, is in New York. His name's Mike, I think. And so I'm watching this, and I'm just like, I fucking know half the people in this movie. Because I worked in music videos. I worked in Hollywood. I worked doing horror movies.
But did he get...
Go ahead.
But did he get Guar in that movie?
Some of the Guar guys are in there, and I know the Guar guys. I haven't seen them in a long time. I used to run into them a lot at the Novi Expo Center for the Detroit Motor City Cons back in the 90s.
Yeah, Mark is a
Guar's
very, very
like one of
big
my
Guar
favorite
fan.
bands. Yeah.
Okay, well then here's a tidbit for you. My comic company, Boneyard Press, we were in the running to do the Slave Pit Funnies. And so we were negotiating to get to publish their books and to publish the Guar comics, but they went with Glass Gasp instead, and I think they made a mistake.
Well, let's definitely...
Oh, man,
I definitely want to talk about American Horrors, but I also want to shift gears a little bit and talk about Boneyard Press because you've got a lot going on with Boneyard Press right now. So can we take just a minute, because I don't think this is something that we talked about the last time that we were on, is
not at all.
First of all, the genesis of Boneyard Press, maybe just a short history for people who aren't familiar to get familiar with it, and then what's happening now and what we can sort of expect from it in the future.
Well, I have been writing and drawing comic books since I was 5 years old. So since I was 5, I've been doing comics. My best friend, he was 4, and he turned me on to like Archie, Richie Rich, Little Lulu, all those brain-rotting, terrible, evil books. And warped me. They warped me. Archie got me. And God damn it was the straight heterosexual Archie land, not this weird woke bullshit. I don't know what the fuck happened to Riverdale, but they should burn it to the fucking ground. Jesus, there are some things you don't need to indoctrinate your children with. Can't you let your kids be kids for a little while?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And to rant back to Boneyard Press. Hi, I'm Hart Fisher from Boneyard. So Boneyard Press was the most, okay, I'm just going to say it. I am the most controversial creator of comic books alive in the world today. And the only one who's ever approached my level of atrocity was William M. Gaines, the publisher of Mad Magazine. And he testified in front of Congress. My life's not over yet. I'm only 52. So I think sooner or later I'm going to get to have my chance to do my Dee Snider moment and put those assholes in their place in Congress. So I've been doing comics for 30 years. I started publishing like professionally, like getting paid to do it. So I started Boneyard Press in 1991 when I was going to school at the U of I in Champaign-Urbana for art. I got a degree in painting, and I was a bouncer at a bar called Mabel's. I was training for my black belt in Taekwondo, and I wrote and drew the first Boneyard book, Dark Angel, which was half Dark Angel, half Bill the Bull. And the funny thing about Dark Angel is I'm the only comics creator to ever sue Marvel Comics and win. I'm the only one, and the Hells Angels helped me do it. That's a long story, but I'm going to get that in there. So I beat up Marvel over copyright and trademark infringement on my title, Dark Angel. And I did the Marvel Can Suck My Cock shirts at the San Diego Comic-Con. That was fun. I did the Kill Image book where I murdered Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, where I murdered Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. No, actually, I just think I just chopped off Todd's hand. I don't think I killed him. And then, because I didn't want him to draw anymore. And then Jim Lee, I think I shot him in the face. And so Kill Image came out, and it scared the shit out of everybody. The Jeffrey Dahmer book came out, and I'm the author of the Jeffrey Dahmer biography book that put me on talk shows around the country and put me in the news. It really put me in the news around the entire world, from the Sun tabloid in England to tabloids in China. I was on Larry King, Sally Jesse Raphael, Closer Look with Faith Daniels, the Bertice Berry Show, CNN Headline News. I got sued by O.J. Simpson for my O.J. books, Doing Time with O.J. and O.J.'s Big Bust Out. And I beat his ass in court, too. Thank you, by the way. That's the thing about me, guys. If I'm going to go to court, you better run. If I'm going to fight you in court, it's because I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And I always look at people, and they're just like, oh, no, I don't like this legal stuff. I got this cease and desist order. Well, do you have a legal right to what you're doing? Are you in the right? Can you continue functioning, or are you just going to let this asshole bully you? I hate bullies. Motherfucker, I hate bullies. So when you start bullying me, you're going to turn me into a mean motherfucker. I turn into a very different human being. I am a Gemini. I was born May 27th, 1969, and I definitely have two personalities in my head for sure. And so doing the comic company, I became the most controversial publisher. They called me the most dangerous man in comics. I ran Glenn Danzig's comic book company, Verotic, and I co-wrote A Taste of Cherry that was banned and blacklisted as obscene material in the state of Oklahoma, and is still considered obscene material in the state of Oklahoma to this day. So when I meet horror creators, I just go, oh, you're scary, huh? Are you scary? So what scary story of yours was burned? Oh, hey, what scary story of yours? Did they protest march your house? Did they protest march your house? Because I had a protest march on my house. That's how fucking scary I am. I'm that fucking scary. And I was pretty angry back then because I'd been going through a lot of violence in my personal life. I've dealt with a lot of violence throughout most of my life. My work is based on reality. And so my writing and my art are based on things I dealt with growing up in a very, very, very violent part of the South Side of Chicago. And my girlfriend, Michelle, was raped and murdered in the middle of making my first film, The Garbage Man, in 1993. And that kind of followed me in the industry. So I was unbelievably angry and furious, and it was a sex crime, and I was famous. So the news media was all over me. I was dealing with the victims' families from the Jeffrey Dahmer books, and they were hounding me, and I was involved in a lawsuit with them. They came after me to sue me to get the book banned, and they wanted all the money from the book and blah, blah, blah. So my time in comics was like, I don't know, being in Afghanistan or Iraq, serving in the military. Jesus, it was crazy. I had death threats. People were robbing people. I had my house robbed because the local CBS affiliate broadcast on the air. I was out of town for the weekend at a Fangoria convention, so somebody robbed my house. Yeah, And then while I'm at the show, I find out that after they robbed my house, somebody from CBS came over to try to interview me, and they broadcast all my shit broken into on the air before I even got home from LA.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. So for me in comic books, it's a weird, twisted love story. And I'm coming back to comics. I've been wanting to for a little bit. A lot of my friends have wanted me to come back. A lot of fans have wanted me to start publishing again. And I was so busy with American Horrors, and so I was having a lot of fun with American Horrors, launching the television network. I left comics in 2004. I got out of it because, frankly, the business was in the toilet. The business was in the toilet. I was burned out, and a friend of mine, his main editor, had died of a heart attack. So I got his job, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go into this full time, and I'm going to walk away from comics for a while. And I was kind of bitter about it, and I was kind of angry, but now I've been coming back at it with a different attitude. And as I was talking to people during the lockdown and seeing what was going on with Diamond Distribution and seeing how DC and Marvel were behaving again very poorly, very, very poorly, and doing things to destroy the independent market. So I thought, now's a good time to come back. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show these assholes how you really do it. I'm going to show them how you really publish as a professional. And this time I've got a TV network behind me. American Horrors, Ash, we hit 4.3 million viewers for the year.
And I know you guys just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we are. And my reach is huge. I see these assholes getting written about as Instagram influencers where they got 10,000 followers. Hey, jackass, I got 60,000 viewers a day worldwide. Where's the article about American Horrors? And I've kind of seen a press blackout on us. Like, nobody has talked about my work with Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish has been all over the news. Who is in the opening credits for the American Horrors TV show? A young Billie Eilish who grew up next door to me. The press has been asking her, hey, what's up with the scary stuff? What has influenced this? Hey, Billie, why are you so dark? She grew up next door to me. She grew up next door to me her whole life until I moved in 2015. Her career started to take off when I left town to move to Wisconsin to take care of my late wife, Waka. She was having health problems, and we wanted to get her someplace with clean air and clean water, low crime rates, so that's why we went to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, to get her out of the dungeon of L.A. because she was having serious problems with her health, to get her to a healthier environment. I didn't win that war. I lost that war. I lost my wife 3 years ago in 2018 to colon cancer. And then I just lost my mother in January. She had brain surgery last summer, and she has been the biggest backer of Boneyard Press. In fact, I launched Boneyard Press with a loan from her father. My grandpa Elmer gave me a loan to start Boneyard Press. And my mom was the one that encouraged me as a child. She would take, and Build a Bull I've been drawing since I was in high school. So my mother worked for the Department of Public Aid. She had access to a Xerox machine. So she would take Build a Bull and my other comics, and she'd Xerox them for me, and I'd go sell them in school. So I've been writing and drawing and publishing and selling my own books since grade school, you guys.
I just love the fact that your mother was photocopying those magazines. I mean, that to me is absolutely fantastic. Just the fact that she's got a stack of artwork. I want to think that she was like shifty-eyed, just waiting for somebody to come around the corner.
Not at all. She was a really amazing woman, highly educated. Both my parents are highly educated. Neither one of them were druggers or boozers. They just smoked a lot of cigarettes and drank too much Pepsi. They were, very intelligent people, and I was brought up with different expectations. Dude, I didn't smoke a single fucking joint till I was 30. I didn't drink any alcohol till Michelle was murdered. Then I drank myself to sleep every night for 10 years. It's been a hell of a life, and my mom was just in my corner all the time when the Dahmer stuff hit, and it looked like I was going to go under. I was a kid when I got sued by the Dahmer families. I was a bouncer in a bar in Champaign, Illinois, called Mabel's, and I had been an art student, and I'm publishing comics. Hey guys, when you publish a book, let's say the Dahmer bio, and it's $2.95 cover price, I get about $1.19 out of every book. Okay, so I get about $1.19 on every book, and then you got to spend that money to pay your artist, and to pay your printer and to pay everybody else. So at the end of the day, that's not a lot of money to go around on that book. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And my mom bailed me out. She paid for my lawyer when shit hit the fan and it looked like I was going to sink. Because that's normally what would happen is she'd let me fight and go and go and go. And if it looked like I was going to go under and go down, she'd reach in and save my ass. So she paid for my defense with the Dahmer books. And she loved the comics. And in the Kickstarter, we've got Ma Fisher's Family Flicks is one of the reward tiers. We're doing a Kickstarter to bring Buildable back into print. We're going to print up all of the Buildable material that was in print and a lot of stuff that wasn't in print, the original epitaphs, the original editorials for it. And I've lined up a lot of people for my return to comic publishing, a lot of amazing artists, a lot of amazing writers, and I'm really excited about it. I originally was going to come back kind of like the Antichrist, you know. I'm coming back to burn it all down. You thought I was hellfire before. Now I'm going to rape you in front of your mother. You know what I mean? And it's just like, no, I chilled out quite a bit. And to be honest with you, my journey with my late wife and dealing with her health problems and all the years of dealing with the murders and the other issues in my personal life, it really knocked the piss out of me. It really beat the anger out of me. I don't have the same anger I used to have. And so I'm coming back to comics out of love. I'm thinking about my mom. I'm thinking about how much fun she had at the comic conventions. We would always do the Ma Fisher's Family Flicks tier in the Buildable Kickstarter. It's my home movies of us at the Comic Cons in the beginning of the 2000s at the Chicago Comic Cons on the 4th of July weekend. And so that's what and it's cut like a TV show. It's totally cut like a TV show. It's filled with hilarious behind the scenes stuff. And I loved having my mom at the show. All my fans knew Ma Fisher, and all my creators would come to Chicago and we'd all stay at my mom's place on the south side of Chicago. And it was a party. My mom loved it. And my strippers, the Boneyard bitches, Ginger Hill, Mistress Xavier, Cinnamon, Mistress Layla, they were all fantastic. And my mom loved having them here. She was hilarious. It seemed like she was never cool in school. You know, she was a little chubby in high school and she never got to be a cheerleader. So I feel like I got to give her that because I was all these people there to sign autographs. Their mom would sign stuff. I would give my mom an armful of Marvel Could Suck My Cock shirts. I'd slap her in the ass and I'd say, go walk around the show and sell them. That's right. You're going to walk around and try to sell these shirts. There you go. Off we go. Off we go. Run along. Run along. And she did. She's in the Wizard magazine. I've got Wizard magazine. Oh, go to boneyardpress2020.com. And that's a good place to see a lot of this stuff. Boneyardpress2020.com. And people see a lot of this artwork and some of these photos. The Wizard interview, there's a picture of my mother wearing the Marvel Can Suck My Cock shirt.
That would be novelty enough for me to buy a shirt.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I sold 100 shirts in one day.
So, coming back...
those Marvel shirts.
Coming back to comics, comics is... I think the comic world is in a weird place right now, man. It's...
Mm-hmm.
It's... Because I've been a comic guy, you know, since I learned how to read, you know, by browsing comic books, by flipping through the pages of comic books. The biggest part of my childhood, at least the best memories that I have of my biological father, is the fact that he would take me to the A&P grocery store every Friday, and I would get to buy a comic book.
Hold on a second, Ed. Abby, pull your skirt down. You're flashing your panties at me again, God damn it. Sorry, I was distracted.
So that was one of the biggest things about my childhood was that every Friday, my father would take me to the A&P grocery store. I'd get to pick a comic book off the spindle, you know, off the rack. That was how I learned how to read. So I've had this love-hate relationship with comic books for the longest time because I would come back in, I'd find some indie stuff that I really, really loved. It unfortunately wasn't getting the kind of love that I was giving it. You'd see the steam start to go away. You know, they'd do 20 issues, then you'd never get to see any more again. And then you see books that have been around since the 30s and 40s, and what they're doing to these characters, it's difficult for me to have the same love that I had for books in the 80s and 90s, because I feel like it's constantly like sort of a rug being pulled out from under me. As soon as I get to like something again, there's
Well, here's the thing.
there's
Here's the thing,
an
Ash,
agenda.
is you had a relationship with characters, okay? And people at home they fail to understand the dynamic of entertainment, okay? When you sit down and you're going to watch your favorite show, it's because you want to hang out with these characters.
Yeah.
Okay? You're spending your time with characters, with people, and either they represent you or you identify with them, or maybe they titillate you in a way, they behave in a way that you don't want to do, or maybe you're not brave enough to do, or maybe you're not a scumbag enough to do. So you invest yourself into these stories, okay? You're invested in these characters. They matter to you, all right? They matter. And what you're discussing is the fact of the matter is that the corporate owners of Marvel, yeah, fuck you, Disney, and even before then, the corporate owners of Marvel and the corporate owners of DC, they're pimps. They are pimps, and they are prostituting these characters. They have no regard to the audience's relationship with the characters. They don't care. They're looking to pimp that little hooker out on the corner, and if they got to make Robin bisexual to get more dollars in his little panties, that's what they're going to do. And this whole thing about woke or this or that, guys, your character is a character, and they are formed by their life experiences. If you just decide out of the blue to go, hey, you know what? No, Batman's gay now. Folks, there's nothing wrong with Batman being gay, but you have a significant amount of people that are invested in a relationship with this character, and they're invested into that character. And if you just arbitrarily decide that Batman is now Rainbow Sprite, his entire character should change. Okay, this is my problem with the woke stuff, okay? You can't just, if you just try to put a label on something and go, oh, well, now he's transgender. Well, no, there are significant underpinnings to the character of a person going through a transition into a different sex. There's a lot going on there. It's not just, oh, I put on a dress and now I'm a woman. No, there is a lot. And I have friends that are doing this. The girl I'm dating now, the person she was dating before me, was transitioning from man to female. And so there's a tremendous amount of psychological stuff that is involved. So for you to arbitrarily go, we're going to create a character called binary. It's binary now. It's an insult to your longtime consumer. Hello? It's an utter insult to the person that has been buying and supporting your product for years. And it's why my return to Boneyard Press is I'm coming back. I'm supervising this. These are my characters. They matter to me. Okay? So we're reprinting first. We're doing the Boneyard Press reprint. So we're doing Build a Bull. We're going to do the Big Book of Dahmer. We're going to do Dark Angel. We're going to do Babylon Crush. And we're going to bring back Flowers and the Razor Wire, our erotic horror anthology, as a creepy and eerie magazine-styled, sized magazine. And so this is the goal. And so the first year of bringing Boneyard Press back is the fundraising aspect of getting these books back into print. We got over 325 pages of material for Build a Bull. Half man, half bull, alcoholic thug for hire on the south side of Chicago. If you got a job that needs doing and you don't care who gets hurt doing it, you hire the bull. Build a Bull. And it's far from woke. It's fun, okay? None of these books were written with the idea of, oh, no, I might offend Aunt Fanny in Iowa. None of them are written for that. They're written for us, the comic fans, us. If you're not buying my books, I don't care what you say on Twitter. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I've had guns stuffed in my face. I've been beaten up. I've been beaten up by groups of people. I've been like the old lady in Blazing Saddles, getting fucking beat up while they're holding me, and they're taking turns working me over. And, oh, the humanity! So if you think for one goddamn minute, bitches, I'm from the south side of fucking Chicago. Ain't watering this down for nobody. I made these books for me, and I made them for my friends. And that's how I've always been, drawing my comics with my friends and doing Super Steve and Super Hart, or you know what I mean? That's why I'm back. I want to reconnect to that joy, that love, and forget all the other bullshit. Just forget all the other crap. Forget everybody else. Forget about Twitter. Forget about what somebody's going to say online. I'm doing them because I love doing them, and I miss my mother. And so Bill the Bull was one of her favorite books to do that she liked me doing. And that's why I'm going with it, man. I'm back for the love. And that, I think, is a stronger position.
This, again, as always, is the fastest hour on the internet. It's the fastest hour of my week. So we are nearing the top of the hour. What are some URLs you can throw out there for the Kickstarter? I knew we had a Boneyard Press URL. What are some of the ways that listeners, people who will be listening to this post-show tonight, how can they, first of all, contribute to the Kickstarter? Where can they go? And how can they learn more about the film festival? Let's throw some URLs out there.
Well, the film festival, the easiest place is www.americanhorrorsfilmfestival.com. That's for the retarded, AMERI. Oh, am I not supposed to use that word? Well, fuck you. AmericanHorrorsFilmFestival.com. BoneyardPress2020.com is where you find us for the comic book company. We are currently completely overhauling AmericanHorrors.com. We have been adding a whole video on demand section, okay? So we have been adding a ton of rare films, a ton of stuff from my past. A lot of it's free, but we're going to be putting up a bunch of, okay, I shot a music video with Billie Eilish when she was a little girl. She was like, I think 8 years old, and maybe 7. And so she's playing Death in a music video from a band called Herd the Humans. The song's called Hollow. We're going to be, putting that stuff up on the website so people could see it. And we're going to make a lot of it free. So like Billy's fans could check it out. I've never been a greedy asshole. I'm here to share the art, the passion, the horror, the music, all of it. I'm here to share the spotlight. I'm here to share the stage. And you can find us on Facebook. Find us on Facebook.com/American Horrors. We've got a American Horrors Film Festival page. And also we're on Film Freeway. If you want to submit to the American Horrors Film Festival, go to filmfreeway.com. You can find us on there. And make sure you find the colorful one, because there's somebody who ripped us off. They called it the American Horrors Film Festival, but we are American Horrors Film Festival. And then you could find me on YouTube. Oh, dude, Ash, yes, YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel. I have 2. One is Crime Pays Hart, HART, which is www.youtube.com/Crime Pays Hart. And that has the Larry King videos. If you want to see me choked out into unconsciousness by Gene LaBelle, that video's up there. Look for Hart Training with the Sensei. Then for American Horrors, youtube.com/American Horrors. I'm on Twitter too, but I don't really do too much up there. We're starting to revamp that and get that up for the Kickstarter. I did do a Build a Bull Kickstarter earlier, but I did it wrong. I made mistakes. So I pulled the plug. I got a bunch of new people on board to help me revamp it, some professionals that have been doing this for a long time. Hey, Meredith. Hey, Nita. How you guys doing? I got these lovely ladies helping me out. Max DeVille from Mary Machine Gun and Atrocity Press is on board helping me with this. And so the Kickstarter is about to launch. We're going to launch the fully revamped Buildable Omnibus Kickstarter will launch at the end of the month. The end of this month, August 2021.
Well, we urge everyone to take a look. Definitely go to the URLs that Hart's listed tonight. We want to thank you, Hart, for being on with us again. It's always a great time talking to you. Do you have a few moments off the air for us tonight?
Yeah.
So thanks, everybody, for listening, everybody that popped in. This will be on posterity for Facebook as well as YouTube, as well as horror-fix.com. We'll make sure that everybody can see this that wants to see this. And again, thanks so much, Hart. We're going to go ahead, get off the air real quick, and then we'll talk with Hart for just a few more moments. Thanks, everybody, who tuned in.